So what's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome yourselves back to another zombies video on the channel, back with a Q&A, taking your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline and Easter eggs, and answer them. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, you guys know what to do. Drop a like rating if you want to. If you don't want to, it's totally fine. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content on the channel. And without further ado, why am I pausing now? I don't know. Let's get into it. So loads of questions to answer from you guys today. If there's anything that you want to ask, leave your comments in the comment section below. But the first one says, BOA, how did Dempsey, Richtof and Takio and Nikolai meet up? In brackets on Nakdo and Toten. And then your second question is, also, how did our heroes get trapped in the ship on Call of the Dead? So your first question, how did the characters meet up in Nakdo and Toten? Well, we know that originally for Nakdo and Toten, these aren't the characters we play as. We play as 4 Marines. We know they ended up there because they were flying over the airfield. The plane that these 4 Marines were on malfunctioned in the sky, came down and crashed into a truck that belonged to Germany that was carrying both the undead and Element 115, which meant that this airfield was now full of zombies, and so these 4 Marines who survived the crash fell back into a nearby bunker, which was Nakdo and Toten, to fight off the hordes of the undead. That's the original story, but what you're asking me is, how did Dempsey, Takio and Nikolai and Richtofen, how did those set of characters end up in Nacht? And I believe, although we're not told, it doesn't say in the Canorium, but when we play as the original characters on this map, that I think is a fracture of the original timeline. But that doesn't explain why they are there. That doesn't really explain the reason as to why they go to Nacht. What reason do our OG crew have for going to Nacht? I actually don't know. As I said, the Canorium doesn't say, it's not really mentioned in the storyline. The characters themselves don't really say anything about it. So as to why they actually go there, I don't know, because as I said, it's just an airfield that Germany was using to transport 115 and zombies. But there's no Easter eggs that we do when we are there that relate to the story. And as for your second question, which said, how did the heroes get trapped in the ship in Call of the Dead? Well, we know just before that the crew was at Ascension where they freed Gersh, and then after freeing Gersh, they travelled using a rift, which is basically a portal, to Call of the Dead. They opened the rift and they came out on the other end in Call of the Dead. But instead of taking them just outside of the facility where they wanted to go, the rift opened up inside of a closet on the ship, which meant that the characters were trapped in there. There was no way for them to leave from the inside. And so we know they had to ask the Call of the Dead characters to help them to acquire the golden rod. Once they had it, they opened another rift and teleported to their next location, which was Shangri-La. So simply to answer your question, they accidentally trapped themselves in the ship. They teleported there by accident. Nikodem Zbieg, is that your name? I'm sorry dude, but this person says, BOA. Was the Shadow Man always called the Shadow Man even before he was corrupted? This had 12 likes. Actually, that's a good question and one that I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have thought so. The Shadow Man is a strange name. I don't really think that's a name that he would be given. More, that's something that we would give him or someone would give him. And if we go by that, we could only assume that he would have been given this name after he would have turned evil. I don't know what his name would have been before, when he was good, before he became corrupted, when he was friends with Dr. Monty. I don't know what his name was. Dr. Monty does say the Shadow Man used to be a good guy. He used to be one of his best friends, but he doesn't actually mention his real name. He's just always referred to as the Shadow Man. So that one, unfortunately, I don't know, but I assume he was given that name after he turned evil. Jason says, BOA, have our main characters drank the blood vials in previous cycles? Since that seems to be the main reason Monty sends them to be Primus. And that's a good question. If our characters are trapped in a cycle, in a loop, and they've replayed these same events hundreds, if not thousands of times before, does that mean they've acquired the blood vials of the Mob of the Dead characters and drank that blood thousands of times before in this same scenario? I mean, that has to be the case. In order for them to keep getting sent back to be Primus, they would have had to have lived the events that happened in Revelations, and in order for them to have done that, they must have drank the blood. That's the only way for them to have continued to live on after Revelations. So they must have collected and drank the blood vials thousands of times before. It just seems that every time they replay this event, that every time they reset the cycle and do this same thing over and over again, they can't remember having done these things. So yes, I can only see that being the answer. They must have collected the blood in previous cycles. It's not just something random that Richtofen thought of this one time. The next question from Choke Chicken says, hey BOA, why do our characters always spawn in with a pistol? Why can't they keep their weapons from previous maps? Is it just because it's a game, or is there actually something behind it? I mean, we always say with Treyarch there's a reason for everything, especially in zombies with how secretive they are and the little Easter eggs they put in. 1 minute we're like, okay, this means nothing. A few years later we'll find out, oh my god, that's what it meant. But I'm pretty sure with this, it's just because, well, first off, as you say, it is a game. I don't think there's any actual logic behind it. I mean, the only thing you could say is it's Dr. Monty taking them away from our characters, but that wouldn't make sense since he wants to help us. So, but yeah, it is really just because it's a game. There's no meaning behind it. It's just there to make it harder. It wouldn't make sense to start off with guns that we've used in previous maps. Ben Bernabe says, are all the zombie storylines connected somehow? So I'm not exactly sure if you mean all of the zombie storylines as in Treyarch's, or all of the developers put together, so Treyarch, Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward. Do you mean are all of these zombie storylines connected from World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, or do you mean is Black Ops Zombies connected to World War 2 zombies? Is World War 2 zombies somehow connected to Infinite Warfare zombies? I almost forgot what it's called then. I mean, it was bad, so you know, you could understand. Well, Treyarch Zombies isn't connected to any other developers, so World War 2 Zombies has no connection to Treyarch Zombies. They are two totally different universes. Dr. Straub doesn't exist in Black Ops, you know, Richtofen doesn't exist in the World War 2 Zombies universe. It's the same for Infinite Warfare. Their characters, I don't even know their names because it was terrible, but they don't exist in Black Ops or the World War 2 universes. Each studio has their own different universes. They are not connected in any way. As for World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, yes, all of those games, those four, are connected. The storylines are all connected. We all know that already. So again, I wasn't too sure what you meant by that question, but there we go. Mugs Plus says, why on the Black Ops 1 poster is the guy holding the Mustang and Sally? And I've also seen other people asking this question as well, saying, who is this person and why is he holding these pack-a-punched weapons? Now, a lot of people have told me this is Mason. I'm not exactly sure. I have played the Black Ops campaign, but like 8 years ago, so forgive me if I can't quite remember. But whether this is Mason or not, it's not really relevant. Your question is, why are they holding the Mustang and Sally? Well, of course, this promotional image isn't to do with zombies. It is the campaign. And these weapons aren't pack-a-punch weapons. They are just M1911s with Mustang and Sally written on them. You can see there's tally marks on the gun, which I believe is the amount of people that this person, whether it is Alex or not, that is the amount of people that he has killed with these weapons. Why they're called the Mustang and Sally, though, I'm not too sure. Are they people in the campaign? From what I can remember, they're not. Maybe you guys have more knowledge on this than me. You can let me know in the comments section below. But this poster and these weapons specifically right now don't have anything to do with zombies. Yes, when they're pack-a-punched in zombies, they are called the Mustang and Sally, but these two things here, this has no meaning to zombies. There's no correlation. The campaign and zombies are two different universes, so that's all I really know about it. But I would actually love to know what Mustang and Sally actually means. If you just look around Reddit, there's loads of different questions on it. Some people say that Sally was Mason's wife. Mustang and Sally was just the names that he gave to his guns. Someone said that Sally was the name of his Mustang and 8 scratches are the number of cylinders that she had. I mean, I don't really see that one being the case. I mean, it doesn't really seem like anyone knows. Maybe Mustang and Sally doesn't mean anything at all. It's just two names that the artist decided to put on this promotional image and it just stuck with it. I mean, we really don't know. A quick one I just wanted to answer, I thought would be nice, but Grievous says, hey BOA, what music genre do you listen to? And the answer is anything and everything. I mean, I don't really stick to one type of music, so whatever really sounds good to my ears, I'm going to listen to. Whether it's rock, I'll listen to a bit of that. I'm not really into heavy metal, but just normal rock like that. Rap, pop, I mean, anything really. I mean, my favourite rapper probably Eminem. Who doesn't like Eminem? I like Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber. What? Wait, what? Who said that? That wasn't me. But then I like Oasis. I listen to the Beatles, Fall Out Boy, AC/DC, bit of DMX, maybe some Tupac now and again, some U2. I mean, literally anything that sounds good to my ears. I don't really have a genre of music I stick to. One thing I really can't stand is like the mumble rap nowadays. So I mean, Lil Pump, just get out of here now, Drake, get out of here now. No, stop it now, just stop, come on. But I'd be interested to see what kind of music you guys listen to. I mean, I like getting personal with you guys. Not in that way, just, yeah. So anyway, guys, there we go. That is it for today's video. Hopefully, as always, you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like, but of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. Could we shoot for 1K likes on this video? We did it on the previous one. I believe in you guys. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest content. Leave any comments you have down below. And of course, we'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.